The bust of Nefertiti is one of the most famous icons of ancient Egypt, yet the queen herself is still shrouded in mystery and intrigue. As consort to Pharaoh Akhenaten, the couple ruled from 1353 to 1336 BCE during one of the most contentious periods of Egypt's cultural history. At this time, Pharaoh Akhenaten remodeled Egypt's religion around the worship of the sun god Aten and moved the empire's capital to Amarna. Although not pharaoh herself, Nefertiti's name has persisted because she held a uniquely influential role as wife and queen, which we see in surviving depictions of her. Historians have gleaned that Nefertiti was a major proponent of Akhenaten's religious and cultural movement. She represented the female aspect of Aten, while her husband represented the male, and both acted as a bridge between Aten and the Egyptian people. The Nefertiti bust is identified as her likeness because of the characteristic crown which she wears in all other inscribed depictions of her. The limestone sculpture was believed to have been completed by the artist Thutmose in 1345 BCE. Upon its discovery in 1912, the portrait has immortalized Nefertiti as the symbol of ideal feminine beauty. A famous statuette of the couple dating to the 14th century BCE was also discovered during excavations at Tel el Amarna in 1912. The statuette is magnificent, extraordinarily well preserved, and has withstood the test of time, revealing multicolored ornaments. Nefertiti was nicknamed "The Beautiful One Has Come." It's a literal translation of Nefertiti. But what did she really look like? The question has never stopped puzzling scientists and Egyptologists. Back in 2018, a team of scientists at the University of Bristol in England digitally mapped the face of a mummy known as the Younger Lady. The mummy was found in 1898 and is believed to be Queen Nefertiti, but this was never proven. The mummy's face was digitally mapped to make an accurate facial construction for the bust. Then, paleo artist Elizabeth Danes recreated the queen's face on the bust, a painstaking process that took around 500 hours of work. By comparing the bust with historical images of Nefertiti, the researchers claim that the Younger Lady mummy was indeed the famous queen. The 3D imaging was only able to copy the mummy's facial structure. Other features, such as skin and eye color, were up to the artist's interpretation. Many soon took to Twitter in anger over the artist's decision to make Nefertiti so fair-skinned. Since Nefertiti lived far before the time of photography, there is no real way to know the exact skin tone of the ancient queen, although the most famous bust depicting the queen depicts a darker monarch. Regardless of the skin tone controversy, there is no definitive conclusion about the mummy's identity, and the recreated bust is still speculative at best. The next chapter in Nefertiti's reconstruction opened in early 2021 when Dutch artist Bas Uderwijk released photorealistic versions of both Nefertiti and Akhenaten. The pictures, which Uderwijk posted on his Twitter page, are based on old carvings and engravings that portrayed the two. The artist achieved these results thanks to software called GAN, which stands for Generative Adversarial Network. It is actually a form of artificial intelligence that allows the analysis of portraits from various media, painting, sculpture, engraving, and the transmission of data to a current photographic interpretation. The method I use is often considered scientific because of the very realistic aspect of the result, but most of my portraits are actually based on my impressions and are therefore subjective, warns Uderwijk. On February 19, 2021, the artist posted the faces of Akhenaten and Nefertiti with bare skulls. As on the statuette, the queen has a lighter complexion than her husband, and she is strikingly beautiful. She has slender eyes, a deep gaze, a perfectly aligned eyebrow arc, and a relatively large pair of ears. The artist made sure to offer a plausible portrayal while letting her vision shine through. Udervik states that most of the artwork around Akhenaten and his queen make them look like Nubians, or at least Sub-Saharan people. Both figures are without headdresses, which were present in ancient representations. The explanation? Artificial intelligence does not recognize them, and the artist therefore chose to represent them without hair. Needless to say, on social media, Udervik's work has become controversial. His critics accuse him of claiming a truth that he does not necessarily possess. People sometimes feel affected when their heritage or culture is reinterpreted, he says. Udervik said he wanted to take a different path and try to capture the expression of personalities born a long time ago before the invention of the camera. Nefertiti and Akhenaten were a fascinating couple. I wanted to try and capture the Nefertiti and Akhenaten charisma, which can be felt in ancient works. The circumstances surrounding Nefertiti's death are a mystery, as her name disappears from the historical record at about the 12th year of Akhenaten's 17-year reign. A popular theory suggests that Nefertiti abandoned her old title at that point and became official co-regent under the name of Nefertiti. Some also propose that Nefertiti is actually the pharaoh to follow Akhenaten's rule by renaming herself Smenkhkare. If true, Nefertiti adopted a similar position to the female pharaoh Hatshepsut, who ruled Egypt in the fashion of a king, wearing even the ceremonial false beard. Another mystery still confounding scientists and Egyptologists is the location of Nefertiti's tomb. It has been 5.5 years since the archaeologist Nicholas Reeves theorized that the mummy of Queen Nefertiti was located behind the tomb of King Tutankhamun. After a long study, he did not reach anything. It seems that the famous Egyptian queen was not buried there. Although the search did not reach a conclusion, a team of Egyptologists still believe that the ancient queen could be buried in a secret room inside the tomb of King Tutankhamun. But in early 2021, the notorious Egyptologist Zahi Hawass began suggesting he may have located the tomb of Queen Nefertiti. He has stated that he will announce a major discovery in March of 2021. It seems the discovery was made in Valley of the Kings, where Howard Carter famously found Tutankhamun in 1922. A couple years back, Hawass was chirping about how things were heating up in this excavation area. At this point, he has all but leaked the exact headline, Nefertiti's Tomb Discovered. Considering the questionable background of the ex-antiquities minister, the archive will reserve judgment until the DNA is independently confirmed by an international lab. In the meantime, the big question we have is, did he use radar at any point?